It was supposed to be just another family gathering, the kind we'd all attended countless times. My sister Amira had thrown a small party for her youngest, Emily, who just turned 18. The house buzzed with chatter, laughter, and the clink of silverware as guests helped themselves to cake and drinks. Emily, always a quiet kid, had blossomed over the past year, taller, more confident, and surprisingly charming. She floated through the crowd, thanking everyone for their gifts, while my husband Mark sat in the living room with my brother-in-law, sipping beers and debating football, seeking a moment of peace. I slipped into the kitchen, a warm sanctuary, with big windows that let sunlight spill across the counters. I busied myself washing dishes, the hum of conversation muffled behind the walls. As I dried my hands, footsteps approached. "Hey, Aunt Jennifer," Emily said, standing in the doorway with a shy smile. "Oh, Emily. How's the birthday girl?" I teased, giving her arm a playful nudge. She chuckled, leaning against the counter. "I'm good. It's a bit overwhelming, though. Not used to all the attention." There was something different about her. Her eyes lingered longer. Or maybe she stood closer than usual. I brushed it off, blaming my imagination. We chatted about her plans after high school, her summer job at a coffee shop, and her hopes for college. But an odd tension hung in the air, subtle but undeniable, as we moved to rejoin the party. Emily's voice softened. "Aunt Jennifer, can I tell you something?" Her tone made me pause. Really look at her. Her eyes weren't the shy ones I'd known. They were intense, troubled. "Of course, Emily. What's on your mind?" She ran a hand through her hair. "A nervous habit from childhood. It's something I've been keeping to myself for a while. I don't know who else to talk to." My stomach twisted, but I kept my voice light. "You can tell me anything, you know that." She hesitated, then looked up, her expression serious. "Aunt Jennifer, it's you?" I froze, not understanding. "What do you mean?" She stepped closer, her voice a whisper. "I've been in love with you for a while now." I couldn't keep it to myself anymore. The words hit like a shockwave. My breath caught, the room sounds fading to a dull hum. This couldn't be real. Emily, my niece, the girl I'd babysat, helped with homework, watched grow up, was saying she loved me. "Emily," I managed, my voice shaky. "You don't know what you're saying." But her eyes stayed locked on mine, unwavering. "I know exactly what I'm saying. I've thought about this for a long time." My mind raced, grasping for a response. "Emily, this isn't right. You're confused. I'm your aunt, for God's sake." "I know how it sounds," she said, her voice soft but firm. "But I'm not a kid anymore. I'm 18. I know what I want." Her certainty terrified me. This wasn't a childish crush. She meant every word. I stepped back, putting the counter between us. "Emily, you have to understand. This is wrong. Your family. You're like a daughter to me. You need to move on from this, okay? And we're both women. I've never done that before." Her expression clouded with pain. But I couldn't let this continue. I thought that would be the end of it, that she'd take time to clear her head and we'd return to normal. I was wrong. The next few days were strange. Emily, usually a frequent visitor, vanished. Her absence left an odd emptiness, but I told myself it was for the best. Maybe she was embarrassed, maybe she needed space. Then, one evening, my phone buzzed with a text from her. "Can we talk? Please?" My heart thudded, but I couldn't ignore her. Family didn't turn their backs. Against my better judgment, I replied, "Okay, come over tomorrow." 7 p.m. the next day dragged with nervous anticipation. I couldn't focus at work, pacing the house, wondering what to say. Mark, oblivious, was at a friend's watching a game, leaving me alone when the doorbell rang at exactly 7 o'clock. Emily stood there, not the awkward girl from the kitchen but confident, her gaze steady, an intensity in her eyes that sent a shiver through me. "Hey," I said, my voice unsteady. "Hey," she replied, stepping inside. The silence was heavy as we sat in the living room, a coffee table between us. She broke it first. "Aunt Jennifer, I've been thinking about what you said. I tried to forget what I feel, but I can't." I opened my mouth to interrupt, but she raised a hand. "Please, just listen." Reluctantly, I nodded. "I know this is wrong. I know you think I'm confused, but it's not a phase. I've been in love with you for a long time." My heart raced. "Emily, you're only 18. These feelings will change. They always do." She shook her head. "I'm not a child. I know what I want, and I'm not running from it because it's complicated." Her certainty unnerved me. "This isn't just about what you want," I said firmly. "There's more at stake. I'm your aunt. We're family. This can't happen." "I know it's complicated," she replied. "But you can't tell me you don't feel something too." My breath caught. Her words struck a nerve I didn't want to acknowledge. "I know you do," she said softly. "I saw it in the kitchen. You hesitated, just like now." I stood, needing space. "Emily, this is insane. We can't do this." But she stood too, closing the distance with slow steps. "I don't want to hurt you, but I can't pretend I don't feel this." And I know you feel it too. My hands trembled as I backed away. Emily, stop. She reached out, her fingers brushing my arm. I froze, her touch soft yet electric. I'm not asking for anything, she whispered, I just need you to know. The silence stretched, thick with unspoken words. Then, in a moment of weakness, I let my guard down. I kissed her. It was brief, a spark before we paused. Then, an explosion of emotions. It felt so good and I knew she felt it too. But she pushed me away. Panic in her eyes. This is my first time with a woman. I can't do this, she said. Fleeing the house, the door slam echoed like a gunshot. I sank onto the couch, trembling. I thought it was over. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. Days passed in a fog. Emily's words replayed in my mind, her absence a heavy shadow. Mark noticed my distance, asking if I was okay. I lied, blaming work stress, guilt gnawing at me. At a family barbecue weeks later, tension simmered. Emily and I barely spoke. But every glance felt loaded, needing a break. I slipped into the kitchen for a drink. The door creaked and there she was, Aunt Jennifer. I need to talk to you, she said, her voice low. Now's not the time, I replied, heart pounding. There are people outside, this can't wait, she insisted, stepping closer. I've tried to forget, but I can't, Emily, we've been through this. It's not real. It's confusion. It's not confusion, she said, her voice steady. I've thought about it every day. I still love you, panic rose. You're making this harder, you need to move on. She stepped closer, eyes intense. I don't care about what's right anymore. I just need you to understand I love you. Her words shook me. Emily, stop, I whispered. But she reached out, her hand brushing mine. I flinched. But her warmth lingered, confusing me. You don't have to say anything, she said. Stepping closer, the door opened, Mark's voice breaking the moment. Jennifer, you in here? I stepped back, grabbing a water bottle, hands trembling. I'll be right out, I called, forcing a smile. Mark glanced between us, suspicion flickering, but said nothing. I fled to the yard, trying to push the encounter from my mind, but I knew it wasn't over. Weeks later, a midnight text from Emily, we need to talk, I can't keep going like this. Tomorrow at yours, 3 p.m. I shouldn't have agreed, but I did. When she arrived, she looked tense but vibrant. I can't pretend I'm okay, she said. I've tried to move on, but I can't, Emily, we have to move on. I said, this isn't healthy, you don't understand. She replied, I can't switch off my feelings, and I don't think you can either. I looked away. I'm your aunt, this can't happen. It would destroy everything. I know it's wrong, she said, but I don't care. I can't lie to myself. Sitting on the couch, I faced her. I care about you, but not like that. You have to let this go. Her expression softened. Tell me you didn't feel anything that night in the kitchen, and I'll let this go. I wanted to lie, to end it, but the truth slipped out. I did feel it, Emily. It was a mistake. But I felt the excitement, her face lit with desire. And before I could stop myself, I kissed her again. This time, neither of us held back. My hands moved through her hair. A rush I'd never felt before, so wrong, yet exhilarating. We went further than before. A blur of passion I'd never experienced with a woman. Afterward, on the couch, reality crashed in. This was a mistake, I said, grabbing my clothes. We can't tell anyone. I'm in love with you, she whispered. I want more. I don't, I said. Heart heavy, she turned away, shoulders tense. Okay, she whispered. After a long silence, she spoke again. I'll move on. I'll try. But I don't know how long it'll take. I nodded, guilt and relief mixing. You're strong, Emily. You'll find someone who loves you the way you deserve. She stared out the window, lost in thought. As I turned to leave, her voice stopped me. I'll always love you, Aunt Jennifer. Tears stung my eyes, but I didn't turn back. I walked away, knowing we'd both been changed forever. The weight of that moment lingering like a shadow neither of us could escape.